Okay, should I say I have a video for you guys from EWTN that I think you guys are going to be interested in? Oh, absolutely, I think I should. So, let's take a look at it, and if anybody wants to know, I'm thinking about increasing the amount of videos I put out a week. That's why I'm putting out a midweek video. So, let's go ahead.
It's you and I.
Hi, I'm Doug Keck, and welcome once again to EWTN's Bookmark. Through the magic of television, we're joined by Aurora Griffin, author of How I Stayed Catholic at Harvard, 40 Tips for Faithful College Students, published by our friends at Ignatius Press, available through our EWTN.
Note, we're going to be talking about somebody who actually gave up their college career for religion. This is sad, and the reason why EWTN does this is because they want people to stay within their grasp to feed their coffers. EWTN is basically perpetrating a $1 billion child sex ring, by supporting the Catholic Church.
Right. Now, the book itself and the acknowledgments I thought was interesting because you really talk about the importance of family in your life and ongoing and how important that is. And you thank at the very beginning that your dad for teaching me the catechism of child.
Notice this. EWTN uses a lot of appeals to emotion, appeals to authority, and anecdotal evidence fallacies to make the Catholic Church look good, even though it has been doing nothing but abusing children for the last several centuries. It's like taking a turd, putting icing on it, and calling it a cake.
I think that a lot of times when we talk about the faith to young Catholics, we try to tell them it's cool, it boils down to being nice, it doesn't really challenge you to do anything different than you're already doing. But I learned from a young age from my dad that sometimes the faith calls you to do things that you're uncomfortable with, things that are beyond where you're currently at, and you don't change it to accommodate you grow to rise to that standard.
This is the other problem with the Catholic Church. Of course they're going to sit back and say, whenever something is contradicting the religion, you question what is contradicting the religion instead of the religion itself. They don't want you to learn. That's the problem. That's why they do this.
And that's a lesson that stayed with me all my life.
Now, is that an example of maybe what you used to stand up when the whole satanic mass thing was happening, which you talk about in the book itself?
Absolutely. So that's a bit of a story here, but I think that the important principle that it came back for me, I remember when my dad told me, we were very young, and he said, look, at some point, you're going to have to decide between something you really want and Jesus Christ. And you're going to have to ask, is this thing that I want more important than my faith? And in this case, the group of Satanists was trying to have their Black Mass the final week of finals, my senior year. So I was busy studying for exams, and I had to choose, is my academic career more important than my faith?
See, again, this is another issue with the Catholic Church. They were on the deplatforming the Satanic Temple. They didn't care about the historical parts of the Black Mass. All they cared about was the word satanic. And not only were they deplatforming, but at one time they were killing people for believing in something different than Catholicism. This is why the Black Mass existed in the first place, because Catholics were burning pagan witches at the stake for no reason whatsoever.
I've always said that my faith is more important, but if I don't fight the Black Mass, what does that really say about who I am and what my priorities are?
Right.
So I remembered my dad's words, and with the whole Catholic community there, sprung into action to prevent it.
Why fight the Black Mass? Why not learn about the Black Mass? See, all she's doing when she is fighting the Black Mass is basically giving credence to those who want her to give them credence. This just seems to be more of a case that the Harvard School should have rejected the claims of the Catholic Church based on the fact that they want to deplatform somebody who doesn't believe in what they believe in because of their religion. Well, screw them if it offends them. They should be ignored anyways. As for this lady giving up her education in favor of her religion, she should have took the latter and got rid of the religion if she is painting such a black and white issue.
You also acknowledge your mother's contribution, showing me what faith in charity looks like by constantly giving of yourself to me and Paul. Is Paul your brother?
Paul is my brother, yes.
Okay. So do you think that was an example of that kind of complementarity that exists between a man and a woman and a parents in a situation? That balance that helped you?
Absolutely. It's so beautiful to see it. It seems, at least the way my parents have modeled it, it's not 50-50, it's 100-100. Each have given fully of themselves in really different ways. My dad in more of a leadership and kind of instructional way, and my mom in a supportive way.
Right.
When is EWTN going to stop using appeals to emotion? When are they going to stop using appeals to authority? When are they going to stop putting government buildings in their backgrounds of their studio? This is a secular nation. That means the state and the church are to be separate, not together. When are they going to learn not to put these two in the same hemisphere? Period. I just want to know that.
I'll borrow another Peter Kraft quote to answer that question. He says that it takes a PhD to convince yourself that some things aren't true, or to convince yourself that certain foolish ideas are true. I think that sometimes education can let us hide from ourselves and let us deny things that are commonsensically true. And so when you are in these places like Harvard or Oxford or any of these other places I've been blessed to be, it's so important to stay in the faith and to hold on to the things that you know to be true, even if you...
Oh yeah, this is why she's going to appeal to the authority of an apologist who is debunked 1,000 times or a dozen times for his BS about believing in his God being more rational than atheism. See, if you just listen to the video in the link in the description below, you will see that they are just dismissing education for religion. That is it.
You could talk your way around them.
Right. He goes on to say, and no place is more important than the university, because the university has replaced the church, the state, and even the family as the primary teacher and cultural determinant. So do you agree with that, and why do you think that has happened?
Oh, this could be a history lesson that goes back, and traces what's been happening in education and the media and politics the last 200 years in the West. I do think that we see a lot of the things that John Paul II talked about in his encyclicals, and
not only dismissal of education, but denial of education and appeals to authority. Come on, EWTN. Well, that's the last thing that I'm going to be doing in this video. If you like the video, comment down below, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. All those links are in the description below. Thank you for watching.